Welcome to the 2020 Night of Wonder, a virtual event benefiting Wonderland Child and Family Services. So we are now just minutes away from our live program, which starts at 7 p.m. Pacific. If you have not logged on yet to our auction website, now is really the time to do that. So here's what you do. You go to wonderlandkids.org, you click on the button that says Start Bidding, and then you go to the auction page and you click on Register to Bid. You create your profile, you enter in your credit card information, and then you're ready to start having fun and supporting Wonderland. If you have any questions at any time, just reach out to us in the chat on YouTube. In fact, get in the chat right now, say hi, let us know you're there. This may be virtual, but this is still the Night of Wonder. It is a big time event, and we have a big time special guest. Seahawks legend, Pro Bowler, member of the Seahawks Ring of Honor, and father of twins with autism. The great Curt Warner, he's going to be here to share about his journey and answer your questions. And if you're a big Curt Warner fan, like I am, you're going to be able to bid on the Curt Warner Memorabilia package. Thank you for being here. Keep bidding, and we will see you when we go live at 7 p.m. We'll see you then.
As you might imagine, we didn't budget for this crisis. No one did.
A lot of times for people who are in need, a nonprofit may be the last stop.
When PPP loans went out, they were super hard to get.
We checked in with Heritage Bank and they said, yes, we can help you. So it almost felt like a miracle.
I often say that the antidote to despair is action, and every day I get to see that action here.
Hey, Ann. Welcome to the first ever virtual Night of Wonder benefiting Wonderland Child and Family Services. I am so incredibly excited to be here supporting this amazing organization. I know we all wanted to be together in a big ballroom, but we are still coming together tonight to support more kids with developmental delays or disabilities. We're just doing it online. All week, people have been logging on, bidding on our auction items, and raising their paddles from home to support our programs. If you have not had the chance or you want to go back and bid some more, first of all, thank you. And here's what we recommend. Grab a second screen or go to wonderlandkids.org. If you're there for the first time, just click Start Bidding and then click Register to Bid on the auction page, and you're going to be ready to support more kiddos with developmental challenges in our community. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube Live and you ever have a technical glitch like audio and video aren't syncing, just refresh your browser and most of those problems will be fixed magically. I gotta say, I just love this organization. And being a part of this tonight for me is deeply personal. So if I could share a photo, my wife and I have 2 kids, including our 11-year-old son, Griffin. You can see Griffin is in a wheelchair. He is nonverbal. He's not able to sit, stand, or walk on his own, and he's legally blind. He's also the happiest, sweetest little boy you will ever meet. And he is so much more capable today, as you see him here in a gait trainer, because of early intervention. This work being performed by Wonderland, it means so much to me, and I know it is incredibly important to so many of you. Tonight, we have a very special program designed to lift your spirits about the work being performed by Wonderland every day. We also have a very special guest. Take a look. We are incredibly honored to be joined by Seahawks legend Curt Warner. Let's go ahead and show you Curt. He's here in the studio with us. Curt, give us a big wave if you could. Most of us know Curt from the impact he had on the field during his 7 seasons with the Seahawks, but tonight he is here to share about his journey as a father, raising twin boys with autism. Take a look.
Christian was really hitting his head hard. I thought that was the bottom.
Sit down with Curt Warner and his wife Anna. It quickly becomes apparent.
Yeah, 3:40. Yeah, 3:40. We go to work. Okay. Gone, honey.
Life in their house can be chaotic. 2 of the couple's 4 children, 23-year-old Austin.
We're going to SpongeBob musical.
Oh, we're not going to SpongeBob.
We're going to see
musical.
SpongeBob musical.
No.
Let him go.
And his twin, Christian,
No messing.
No.
No messing.
are on the lower functioning end of the autism spectrum disorder, something this Seahawks great kept secret from friends for 20 years.
They didn't know because I didn't tell them.
You didn't tell anybody?
No,
Nobody knew.
not really.
What about former teammates?
Not really. The kids, fine.
Not because Warner was ashamed, but because what his family had been through was so emotional.
I mean, I can talk about it now, whereas beforehand I probably couldn't talk about it without choking up, and literally choking up, because, you know, nobody wants to see your children suffer.
Life has never been easy for Warner, who grew up as the youngest member of the only black family in the tiny coal mining town of Wyoming, West Virginia. He went on to Penn State, where he became an All-American. The Seahawks drafted him with the 3rd overall pick in 1983 behind future Hall of Famers John Elway and Eric Dickerson. Warner carried the Hawks to their first conference championship game and was a 3-time Pro Bowler. Then he married Ana, a model from Brazil, and the two started a family, first a son, and just more than a year later, twin boys, who were slow to reach the typical developmental milestones and seemed to have a language all their own. At 5 years old, the doctors gave the Warners a diagnosis.
You know, at least we had a name. Before that, it was just like bad parenting.
Yeah, bad parenting.
Just bad parenting because they were out of control. So what kind
So
of...
you must not be
Yeah.
doing, what are you not
Yeah.
doing as a parent? I'm like, well,
But
come
we're
out
right.
here.
We
We're
did
not bad
right with
parents.
the... Yeah. Hands off, please.
Parents who would be pushed beyond anything they could imagine when the twins became teenagers.
Nightmare.
It was tough.
Living nightmare.
Unable to communicate and frustrated by it, Austin and Christian would kick holes in the walls, bite themselves bloody, and bang their heads against the floor. But the Warners say they hit rock bottom in February of 2008.
When I opened his bedroom door, I mean, fire was everywhere.
Austin had found a lighter. Their house burned to the ground. All of Curt's keepsakes and awards from a remarkable football career and all of the family's belongings lost in the fire.
It's just like, okay, we hit the bottom. The only way now is look up and we can do it.
That was that breaking point. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with all this. I don't want to be a part of this family anymore.
24-year-old Jonathan Warner, then a teenager himself, says at that time his brother's behavior made him feel isolated.
My friends had brothers, and they would do brother things. They would go out, hang out, play basketball. I couldn't do that. So a lot of anger was built up, a lot of anger.
So one thing I've learned from playing sports, and that is sometimes you just got to hang in there. There's no timeouts. There's no halftime. It's life.
Yeah.
And you can't just walk away because you don't like it.
I'm frustrated.
I know you're frustrated. You know what? Use your words.
Persistence that over time has paid off. The twins graduated from special education classes,
Mama, can I go with you, Antique Store?
I don't think so.
Can we go?
and while their language is limited, they can now communicate better than ever before. They both have jobs. Christian helps sort and track uniforms, while Austin is busy spraying and scraping labels off shipping containers at a company that makes silicon wafers in Vancouver, Washington.
Is it still working, Austin?
Plug it in.
They both are assigned on-site job coaches, like Kathy Weber.
I would seriously say he came in here as a boy, and he's now working like a man. You know, and he's very proud of that too, and that makes me happy.
Christian, do you want to dance with me?
No.
The Warners say they are now living, not drowning, in the challenges brought by autism. Back at Seahawks games, now opening up about their family struggles. Yes, it is still chaotic, but balanced with a lot of love.
Yes, look at that machine. Isn't that beautiful?
The circle.
Yes, it is. Where the movie goes.
Our family is very caring. My mom and dad are probably the two most loving people you would ever meet in your entire life.
I love my wife and I love my family, so you know, I got to help and assist in any way I can.
And that may be the Seahawks star's biggest accomplishment of all. And we are happy to be joined now by Curt Warner. Curt, thanks so much for being here tonight.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Many people watching tonight have young children with developmental challenges, but take us back. Take us back to that time of diagnosis when you got your autism diagnosis. Your boys were 5. How did you respond as a father?
You know, I think initially I was more shocked than anything else. Obviously, we knew we had a problem. We just didn't know to what extent. And then when we heard the word autism, I really had no idea. My wife, as we got home, you know, very quiet kind of drive to the house, kind of did some research and started figuring out what autism was all about. But I was still, you know, my question to the doctor was, can you fix it? And at the time, they didn't really say much about it.
Well, how much was known about autism at that time?
The only thing I knew about it was Rain Man. And
that was your exposure to the word.
That was my exposure to autism and trying to figure it out. But I remember watching that movie. I was thinking, okay, there's got to be some type of ending here, but it really wasn't. So that was kind of my thinking on it. But we're still at it, fortunately or unfortunately, and it's been a journey.
Early intervention is just one of the many services provided by Wonderland. It's the primary service. After you got that diagnosis, what kind of services were available to you? Your boys were already 5 years old.
Yeah, that's a good question. Not that many, and I think my wife started doing a whole bunch of research and was able to find some people in the area that could help direct us as to what we needed to do next. And then I think we got some therapy, started that program, started down that road. It got pretty busy fairly quickly. We were doing about 40 hours of therapy per boy a week. Now, needless to say, they weren't very happy about it, but I think it did help. I think any type of early intervention would have been good at the time, but unfortunately, there was just not a whole lot known about it.
I think about when we got the diagnosis for our son, which was early on. So we were told when our son was born, we were still in the hospital, that he probably would not be able to walk or talk throughout the course of his life. And early intervention for our family, that started when he was just a few months old. So he was an infant. As you think back to that time and what it could have done for the twins, do you think early intervention could have made a difference for you and your family? I know for us, it really gave us a partner in the journey, and so we had somebody walking along with us. You felt very alone.
Well, intervention obviously is the key, and if you can catch it early enough, then you have a chance to deal with it and start the therapy and so on and so forth. I think Wonderland has just a great concept, a great idea as to narrowing down between that 2 and I think 12 years old, where if there is a particular issue, then you may be able to catch it. And then when you're dealing with autism, being able to catch that or having a diagnosis at that time, maybe at the age of 2, is different than probably at the age of 5.
Sure.
So we don't know for sure, but I think earlier would have been better.
I think for many families, early intervention can really provide that breakthrough.
I
we were
agree,
talking
100%.
about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have much more with Curt. Don't go anywhere, okay?
I'm here. I'm not
Stay
going
right
anywhere.
here. We have more questions. We want your questions for Curt. He's gonna answer all those coming up as well, and we're gonna auction off a few items together, including that Curt memorabilia package. But Curt really just talked about how things may have been different for his family had his twin boys started earlier in early intervention at a younger age. And Wonderland is helping so many other kids in our community with autism and other developmental challenges be their best. Take a look.
If Wonderland hadn't been in our lives, I think I just would have been really depressed all the time. I would have felt bewildered and overwhelmed. My name is Sophie, and during my pregnancy, there was no issues. I just remember one of the steps was just that they were going to do the C-section, they were going to pull her out, they're going to give you the baby, you're going to hug the baby, and then you're going to, breastfeed your baby. But then once they did the C-section for the baby, right away there was a pause in the steps because now there was an issue. And the issue was just that she was not moving. She was incredibly floppy or hypotonic. And they wanted to wait and just see if she'd firm up, except she never did. It's kind of scary when you have a baby who has some kind of medical issue. There's a part of you that was just easy to say, this is so hard, my life is over.
The first time I met Mira, she was just 6 weeks old and she had just come home from the hospital. Mira was sitting in a baby swing and her mom said, she needs a diaper change. And she got her out and put her on the diaper changing table and started changing her diaper. And I noticed that Mira's head was turned and she didn't have the strength to turn it to look at her mom.
So how we were able to work with the therapy was that we would pinpoint what we wanted to deal with that week. So say That week, we wanted her to start moving her arms. Then it was, well, what kinds of things can we do to get her to move that?
In order to get her interest in moving, she used toys that were made crinkly sounds that got Mira interested, and it would make her want to lift her arm, to reach it, to touch it, to make the sound, to get to it and explore it. Sophie was just so determined, and so was Mira. She really took after her mom that way, and they would see something they wanted to do, and there was no stopping them. When she finally was ready to pull to stand, her feet were just not helping support her. So we got her little foot supports, and it would give her some ankle support so she could work on her leg strength and not have to worry about her feet.
When she first initially approached that she was going to crawl and that she was going to walk, I honestly thought she was lying to me. Like, okay, this lady is like really freaked out. I'm just going to say these super optimistic things to get her to not spiral anymore. But it actually ended up being true, and she obviously saw signs and indicators that I had no idea were there, and she was right the whole time.
All of a sudden this spring, I got a video from Sophie that showed Mira jumping on the bed, and I was so excited. When I first saw Mira at 6 weeks, I had no idea whether or not she would be able to walk ever. And so to see her actually be able to jump on the bed was really exciting for me.
I'm really grateful to Wonderland, who also parented me a little bit. And it makes you relax and not get down in a funk because you think, oh, this person, cares about me, cares about my child. And it's not just their job, and they're gonna help us. And we were helped in so many different ways.
Wow, isn't that beautiful? Mira is running, climbing, jumping, and thanks to Wonderland, thriving. We just want to be there for more adorable kiddos like little Mira. These families cannot do it alone, and we cannot do it without you. And it comes at a time during a pandemic when it is critical for these children to be supported. This is the point of the program where we turn to you and ask you to help us make a difference. So grab a second screen, maybe it's a phone, a tablet, or a laptop, and go to wonderlandkids.org to make your donation. So I told you that our work in news, and we have some really exciting breaking news into our virtual event. Thanks to Wonderland, board members, and generous donors, we have a $20,000 challenge match happening right now, meaning the first $20,000 donated tonight will be matched dollar for dollar. An example, your $5,000 donation becomes $10,000. Your $1,000 donation becomes $2,000, doubling our impact. We are going to begin our giving tonight at $5,000. And starting our giving at $5,000 tonight is Dr. Nina Nataranjan and Raj Raman. Nina, by the way, is a Wonderland board member. Also coming in at $5,000 is Tim and Julie Barkley. Thanks so much to our $5,000 donors. Who else can join us at this important moment at $5,000? The donations are pouring in. Let's take a look. Melissa Takade, $500. Paul Nelson just came in at $250. Mary Snedden, thank you for your donation at $1,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep those donations coming in. Our next level of giving, $2,500. Who can join us at $2,500 at this important time? Remember, you are making a difference for families right here in the Pacific Northwest. Let's do this for the kids. We are watching those donations come in. Thank you for donating. Thank you. You are making a difference in this moment. As we continue through our levels, our next level of giving, the all-important $1,000 level. Who can join us at $1,000? Remember, because of the challenge match, your tax-deductible donation will be doubled right now. That $1,000 donation becomes $2,000. So who else can join us at $1,000 right now? Let's make that $2,000. An anonymous bid just came in at $25. It all makes a difference. Once again, Heidi just came in. Thank you, Heidi, for making us even prouder of our donations tonight. You're making a difference. Paul Nelson at $250. Thank you so much. These donations are coming in. You are helping us support more families and walk with them on their journey with the help of Wonderland. Keep those donations coming in, and please donate at our other levels. $500, $250, $100. Let's put those levels up on the screen. $50, or you can actually create your own custom level. Let's say you love the number 28 because you love Curt Warner. That was the number that Curt wore when he played for the Seahawks. Feel free to give $280 or $28 million. We will celebrate you either way. I'm checking the big board. Matt Tino just came in at $1,000. Matt Tino, thank you. You are making a difference. Martin, thank you. John Mozica at $250. Martin Nakayama, thank you to Martin. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. You are making us feel so good at Wonderland tonight. If you haven't had a chance, once again, go to the donation page, raise your paddle from home, and we can support more families in our community. Donations keep pouring in, and we want to take a moment, with that said, to thank our sponsors. First, our hero sponsor, the Everett Clinic. Our champion sponsors, we're going to put our sponsors up on the screen, Heritage Bank and Alaska Airlines. Our advocate sponsors, Molina and Pacific Northwest, Assets Management, Seattle Children's, Live Oak Audiovisual. Our community partner sponsors, Greenwood Oland and North Seattle Pediatrics. Once again, keep those donations coming in. We are really making a difference for Wonderland and families in our community. You know, when the pandemic hit and so many things shut down, Wonderland stepped up, moving their critical therapies and support services online to reach families in their homes, virtually. Until it is safe to go back into people's homes, therapy has become teletherapy, letting families know we are still here for you, no matter what. It has not been easy, but Wonderland rose to the challenge. There were never gaps in services. And with more on that, here is Executive Director of Wonderland, Mary Kirchhoff.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our magical night of wonder. Every year, we look forward to this evening as an opportunity to gather as a community, to celebrate our families, and to support our mission. Some of us also look forward to dressing up or outbidding each other in the auction. This Night of Wonder is different, but while we are unable to gather in a big ballroom, we are still connected virtually as a community. Whether you've been to many Wonderland events in the past, or this is the first time you hear about the impact of our work, I hope you find this evening meaningful. This year continues to bring many challenges to our world, and it has deeply affected our work and our families. Wonderland services have always been centered around direct interaction with children and their caregivers in their natural learning environments, typically their homes. But the pandemic shut down our offices and in-person services, so we had to quickly pivot and transition all our therapies to telehealth. No small feat. The good news is we found telehealth to be an effective tool in reaching families during this uncertain and isolating time. Our providers have developed new and creative ways to adapt therapies to this new virtual reality. They do virtual evaluations and coach parents on how to best help their children develop outside the therapy sessions. And our therapists and support specialists are working tirelessly to keep children engaged and to support their caregivers. And we know that Wonderland has been a much needed lifeline for our families. One of our Hope Rising Clinic moms shared a recent conversation with her son. I asked him what working with the two of you means to him. And he said, "It means I'm not so alone during quarantine." The pandemic is affecting families with children who have developmental challenges or disabilities in far greater numbers. These families are experiencing more isolation, anxiety, and depression than other groups. But we can't deliver support to families if we can't reach them. Many families are putting off well child visits and also face other challenges during COVID. So we are experiencing a 50% drop in new referrals as many children and families are falling through the cracks. We also know that there will be other challenges down the road as we deal with the long-term effects of social isolation. So we need your help. Your gift tonight will help us reach more families in need of support and life-changing therapies. I invite you to join us as we work to reach more children, particularly in communities of color, who are less likely to receive services, and ensure that all families have access to our services. A child's development can't wait. Thankfully, our services don't have to wait either. Thank you so much for your support of Wonderland, and thank you for being part of our community.
And thank you, Mary, for your relentless dedication and commitment to serving families in our community. Hey, before you stream season 7 of Friends for the 4th time, remember, we have an auction going on. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna close our first 2 auction items, our staycations, and we're gonna close them together in just over 4 minutes. So that's item number 1, the Long Beach, Washington getaway, and item number 2, a local golf getaway. To help you bid, we're going to put a countdown timer up on the screen, and you're going to have 4 final minutes to bid on items number 1 and 2. By the way, if you need help bidding on multiple items, here's a pro tip. You can set a maximum bid by clicking Place a Proxy Bid on any item. Enter the amount you're willing to bid for that item, and make sure you check the Place a Proxy Bid box. The computer will automatically bid for you up to your max bid. So set that max bid high so you don't get outbid. And if you're not 100% sure that you're seeing the most recent bids, just refresh your bidding page. Okay, everyone ready to bid on our first 2 items? Let's go ahead, Jennifer, and put 4 minutes up on the clock. On your marks, get set, bid. Okay, let's talk about items number 1 and 2 while you start bidding. Item number 1 is that getaway to Long Beach, Washington. 2 nights in a 3-bedroom townhome at Lighthouse Oceanfront Resort. Look at the pictures, gorgeous. Saltwater pool, hot tub, indoor tennis, water views and a full kitchen, private deck, and a fireplace, just steps from an amazing beach. Also included, a $50 gift card to historic Oysterville Sea Farms and $100 to the 42nd Street Cafe and Bistro. The beach always offers the perfect getaway, so relaxing. We've all been cooped up in our homes because of the pandemic. This is the perfect remedy for the pandemic blues. Okay, now on to item number 2, a stay and play getaway on the Kitsap Peninsula. Escape for 3 nights at Green Gables, a private loft guest house in the woods of Port Orchard. The place is so cool. Look at the photos. Sleeps 5, full kitchen, hiking trails throughout the property, nearby forest, includes breakfast with Green Gables green eggs, wine and snacks. Play 3 rounds of golf for 2 people on your choice of 5 remarkable courses. Alderbrook, Lakeland Village, McCormick Woods, the Cascade Course at Gold Mountain, the Championship Olympic Course at Gold Mountain. Wow, carts included for all rounds, the perfect staycation, fun, and mostly a little relaxation at a time when we all need it. And it's in somebody else's home, so you get out of your place. We're all sick of our own homes. Okay, you have 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. I'm checking right now on item number 1. Right now, Matt Tino is in the lead at $850. Matt Tino, he wants it because he also bid $800. Matt, you're outbidding yourself. You're my favorite bidder of the night. But somebody, Erica Anderson, was our last bidder to bid against Matt at $750. Erica, I've seen you. You can long drive and outdrive Matt. So this is your moment. I believe in you. Go ahead. Oh wait, I believe that was the beach. Okay, you deserve some time at the beach. Go to the beach, Erica. Go ahead, step up that bid, outbid Matt. Let's see if he's got it in him to take you on head to head. Okay, now let's check item number 2, Nicole. Let's go to item number 2. That's the golf getaway. Right now, Erica Anderson in the lead at $650. Melissa, you wanted this? You deserve this. I never want to pressure anybody publicly. So Melissa, it's just between the 2 of us right now. you need a little getaway. You're gonna have a blast. You're over on the peninsula. The Olympic Mountains are right there, and you're supporting Wonderland. Let's do it for the kids. You deserve this, and we're gonna make a difference in our community. Erica, make this happen. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna refresh right now, see what's going on. Right now, Erica's in the lead. Melissa, step up. This is your moment, Melissa. We know you can do it. We're checking item number 2, which is this getaway on the Kitsap Peninsula. Place is just gorgeous. Okay, Erica's still in the lead. Melissa in there in that second spot. We're gonna jump back over to item number 1, the beach getaway. Man, I love the coast. You go down there, a minute left, by the way. I'm watching the clock. I hope you are too. It's right down there. There. And you get down there, all your troubles just melt away. You go walking on the beach and you're like, wow, I forgot what it's like to just feel grounded. You know, this has been stressful, and you deserve a getaway while supporting kids at Wonderland. All right, we're checking on that. Matt Tino's still in the lead. Erica Anderson, this is your moment. You deserve the getaway. Step up, outbid Matt. He'll love you for it, and so will we. We'll wrap our arms around you. I'm going to give you a big hug through the screen after you end up being the first place bidder, and we make a difference for more kids in our community. Matt Tino's still in the lead at 850. We're down to 20 seconds. I'm going to count it down. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Get in there. Once again, just keep bidding. Just because I count it down, go until the computer tells you that the item is sold. There's a little bit of a delay, so keep bidding. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, with that said, our first 2 items are now closed, but I actually just learned we can actually sell 2 of the stay and play golf getaways. So know this, second place bidder, our team is going to be reaching out to you right now. And then we're going to auction off more items coming up. So congratulations to our first 2 winners. The remainder of our auction, we're going to close those items coming up. So stay right there. We're also going to have much more with Curt Warner. But we also want to share about Wonderland's Autism Navigator. It is a critical position so we can better support families facing autism and be by their side. The role comes with an important partnership with the University of Washington Autism Center. Take a look.
There are huge misunderstandings and myths about autism and what might have caused it, what might have prevented it, and there can be a lot of feelings of guilt and wondering when that diagnosis comes to a family. There's not quite enough just our kids are our kids and our job is to figure out who they're going to be and help them do that to the best of their ability. I am Teresa Batali. I'm an early childhood special educator and autism navigator. We have begun a really exciting connection with the UW Autism Center. This role of autism navigation, of walking with a family from the time that there is some indication that there's something different, we are able to smooth the path because we have this kind of broader view of a child than what the evaluator would see in the 1 hour, 2 hour evaluation. Our connection with UW of sharing our perspective and helping communicate between all parties has been a big benefit to our partnership. They really emphasize for diagnosis of children younger than 3. Many people get the diagnosis after 4, and families wish that they had kind of learned earlier. The earlier you start any intervention, the more your brain grows and learns from it. And in this stage of prenatal to 3, we know that brains are most flexible. These babies are the children of the future and are the teenagers and the adults of the future, and their experiences are being built right now. And so investing our time, our resources, our love into these kids now reaps great benefits in the future, both for them and for our community at large.
We are so happy to be back now with the great Curt Warner. You know, you said in that story that we ran that you couldn't talk about the autism diagnosis for years.
For years.
And even your former teammates, who were some of your closest friends, they didn't know what was going on with your family.
No, the reason why I couldn't talk about it is because when I started talking about it, I would just kind of break down. So
You couldn't
it
talk
was
about it without
emotional.
being emotional.
Yeah, it was an emotional.
And for you, that's not a place you wanted to go.
No, it just.
Is that a football thing?
It's a football thing, a father thing. It's a lot of different things. But now, it's not. I'm not as emotional about it, but I can talk about it. But it's still, there are times when it gets tough.
Do you ever wish that you had been more public about it earlier on?
You know what? We really didn't know what we were dealing with at the time. So, obviously now, you're talking more about autism awareness, but at the time, we couldn't explain it. I kept telling my wife that, this is just something that we just cannot grab, we can't put our arms around it and figure it out. It's just something that we're just going to have to work through.
Yeah. So in our family, we have 2 kids.
Yeah.
We have our son, then we have an older daughter.
Yeah.
And I was always worried after my son was born that his developmental challenges would have some sort of negative impact on our daughter and her upbringing. And so I want to ask you about that. Because you have 4 kids.
Right.
And the twins are now in their early 20s. And then they have an older brother by about a year, Jonathan. who we saw in the story.
Yep.
And he's an amazing young son. Congratulations. He just had a baby, so you're a grandparent.
Yes, I am.
And then you have Isabella. How has the twins' autism impacted Jonathan and Isabella?
Jonathan first. I think initially, because he talks about it in the book, emotionally it affected him because we were spending a whole lot of time working with Austin and Christian and pretty much ignoring him. So, it had to be tough on him. And we obviously, now that we had a chance to think about it, ended up apologizing to him, but we still love him. As a big brother, I mean, he loves Austin and Christian to death. They're just things that, at that particular time we were trying to figure out and get our arms around, but we ignored him. And I would encourage parents not to do that. Don't do that.
That's an important lesson. Listen, though, it's hard on a teenager. Like when the twins became teenagers, you talk about in the book, like they were really acting out and at times difficult to control and make sure that they were safe.
Yeah. Safety was the most important thing. We sort of quarantined ourselves at that particular time, and I don't mean that in quarantine as far as COVID.
Right.
But
you just kind of locked in.
We locked in. So that they, would be around because they had the ability to escape, and so we had to keep an eye on them. And sometimes we just had to lock things down to do that.
We got your book here, The Warner Boys: Our Family Story of Autism and Hope. Why'd you write the book? What did you want people to know?
Autism awareness, I think, would be the number one thing. Number two, you just can't explain it. So you got to figure out, okay, how do we talk about this? And this was just one of those things that we were able to do. Great writer by the name of Dave Bowling helped us out.
Longtime columnist for the Tacoma News Tribune, covered the Seahawks for years. You guys had a long-term relationship.
We spent about 3 years talking with him once a week, kind of going through all of the scenarios and situations. And I was surprised at how much we were able to talk about, how many things we were able to recall at the time, and then to be able to put it on paper. I'm still somewhat amazed about it.
By the way, you can buy an autographed copy and support Wonderland in the process. Curt's autographed those books. They're up for sale right now on the auction page. And we want to stop and take a few questions from you, our viewers, as you're tuning in tonight and wondering about Curt's journey and supporting Wonderland. And so we're going to put those up on the screen. I'm going to read some of your questions. If you have a question, just post it in the YouTube chat, and I'll ask Curt on your behalf. So this is coming from Matt. Curt, did going through the experience of getting injured when you were playing help you later in life, especially in your experience raising your boys? You had faced some tough things as a player.
Well, the first serious injury was the ACL, and that could have been a career-ending type of injury. And then I had a few more injuries after that where I had to go under the knife. So how did it help? What was the experience like? I don't really know. But there are times when, you're going to be, out of commission. You're not going to be able to play. There's certain things you're not going to be able to do, and you just have to work through it.
Did the mindset of coming back from an injury, I've heard, players compartmentalize, right? There's the recovery phase and then the therapy phase. And were you able to approach autism in the same manner, or was it just such a different challenge that you can't
Well,
compare
you know
the
what,
two?
on this one, let's say, for example, you get hurt, you blow your knee out, and it's not a fun thing. So I'm not going to try to, scale it down by any stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, you're hoping it's going to come to an end one way or another, maybe a year or so. And I was fortunate enough to come back and play in 85. With autism, we're still working through that, meaning that we don't have the end game yet, but we are hopeful that at some point there's going to be some type of help that'll take us to the next level.
Listen, everybody watching and being engaged tonight hopes for a breakthrough when it comes to autism and all developmental challenges. All right, this is coming from Caleb. What was the best advice you got on the field, and has that helped you in other aspects of life?
The best advice I ever got on the field was to stay away from certain people at certain times when I'm running the football. And I'm being facetious when I say that. I had a number of great coaches, and they were able to coach us up, and they taught us a lot of things and told us a lot of things about things that we do right, things that we do wrong. I think the film room was probably one of the great teachers, because the eye in the sky doesn't lie. So when you mess up, you already know you messed up. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Were you good at watching yourself on film?
You know what? I would watch myself on film sort of the night before, so I would have something to say the next day when I messed up.
Oh, you would do your homework so you could call yourself out. You were ready.
Yeah. You got to go home and watch it, because you got to see what's going on, and you say, well, why did I miss that block?
What would they do back then? A VHS tape? Because now everything's on.
VHS. And they had the clicker. Chuck would click, he'd click again, and then they'd rewind it, click, and you're just sitting there. And poor guy who missed the block, he was just getting hammered, so you just go like, I hope that's not, I don't want that to be me.
Yeah.
But it was tough watching film, man, because they're going to call you out. If you get, knocked back or knocked down, you're going to see it, and everybody else is going to see it.
You're going to get called out. Better be ready for it.
And you got guys that are going to be laughing at the same time. You go like, yeah, okay, thanks. That's not funny.
It's not funny if it's you.
It's not funny if it's funny if
Jill's
it's
got a great question. What was the biggest challenge and biggest blessing of getting that diagnosis of autism? The biggest challenge and then blessing?
I think the biggest challenge, the biggest challenge was actually getting the diagnosis and then knowing. The blessing has been that we've been able to stay the course. Autism, what does it say here? Our family story of autism and hope, and that's really what it is. It's all about hope. It's about faith. It's about love, loving your children unconditionally, regardless of what their situation is. Whether it's autism or the developmental disabilities, love your child and love them without condition.
I got to say that's
and that's where you're at, I don't mean to push it back on you, but I mean you're in a very similar situation.
Yeah, I think we're all there, and I got to say, that's what I observed when I've spent a couple days with your family and your incredible wife Anna, who just had a birthday.
Yes.
Happy
birthday.
There is an incredible amount of love, and especially to see your oldest son Jonathan really take that on with the twins and take on the responsibility of really caring for them. It's pretty special.
It took him a little while to come to that conclusion. I think he had to go away, went to school, went to college, and then came back and started thinking, okay, maybe I'm not going to be as mad at them as I once was.
Right.
So that's been a blessing. Isabella, I mean, she just holds her own anyway. I mean, she's a blessing. She takes care of her own business. She tells Austin and Christian what to do. And sometimes they get on her nerves.
She's the boss of the house?
Yeah, sometimes they get on her nerves, but she's pretty good about it.
It's a great family dynamic. I've got a couple football questions. What do you miss most about the game?
The teammates.
The camaraderie?
Yeah, love the camaraderie.
And you still get that when you come back and you see some of your
But it's not the same. I mean, you have it's Sunday, you're out there playing, you want to win, everybody's making a contribution. It's a lot of fun. You can't find it anywhere else. But,
we're looking at this photo of you just running hard at the Kingdom. And by the way, we're going to auction off this Kurt Warner jersey that's autographed and a football autograph by Curt.
We're going to autograph it.
Yeah, we'll autograph it. We'll sign it just for you. Kurt's going to do that before he leaves. So we're going to bid on that coming up. I do want to ask you, though, because you're also a great analyst and you watch the game with such a keen eye. What do you think about this current Seahawks team? Do you think they have a chance to win it all, go to the Super Bowl like they've done in the past and take it all?
Well, you know, Russell Wilson is playing as well as I've ever seen him play. Now, earlier in his career, you had the defense that could kind of take care of its business.
That was an elite defense.
Yeah, so, you know, they had the defense, and then they had the running game, and Russell was sort of, you know, in the background. He would make plays when he needed to, and but now he's the man, and he's playing like it. So
let Russell cook.
That seems to be the word on the street. Let him cook.
But you think this is a Super Bowl caliber team?
You know what? It's too early to call right now, but they're 2-0. They're playing the Cowboys tomorrow. It's going to be a good game, but why not? You know, let's wait till week 8 before we start making any type of claims predictions about this, that, or the other.
Once again, if you have any other questions, post them now. I do have a question, kind of father to father.
Okay.
Having a child with developmental challenges is something few people would sign up for.
Right.
And we can both say at times it can be pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
But there's also beauty in it
once
you get to that point of acceptance. And I'm wondering what you've learned about.
That's the key word you said.
Isn't it really?
You have to accept it.
Yeah.
And you have to, because love is it's a choice. You have to choose whether or not you're going to move forward or you're not going to move forward. Right. So unconditional love says, I'm going to unconditionally love you regardless of the situation.
Is that what you've mostly learned about yourself through this process? How to unconditionally love and just really.
I'm still working on it. So
I don't.
I'm still working on it. But I think the family and the faith, and being able to just hang in there, more so than I would have ever thought. Like for training camp. I mean, you know when training camp is over, so you got to deal with it. There's no training camp. What you're dealing with is no training camp. The season may end, but for you, the season is ongoing. Your career, you may end in 8, 9, 10 years, but we're at it. You're going to be at it at 20 years. I'm at 24, 25 years with Austin and Christian. It does not end. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that you have to daily remind yourself of. It's like, okay, let's go deal with it. And those on the developmental disability parents would know that better than anyone. Yeah. Those who are dealing with autism would know that better than anyone, that there's no time to rest. You would like to take a rest. I mean, I'd like to go away and just, shun this thing and push it away and say, hey, let's reset the clock. But unfortunately, can't do that.
Yeah. There is no training camp. I do feel like in some ways there is a coach, and that's what Wonderland tries to be for so many families, saying, hey, we're going to walk with you on this journey. We're going to be there. We're going to show you the path. And that's why we really
I think for me is knowing that there are people out there that really do care. Because isolation is not fun. Not being able to communicate that to your family is not fun.
So find a community, and that's
not being able to communicate to your friends. Yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah, and
you're embarrassed to have people come over to your house because you got situation where you got holes in the walls and all the other stuff, and you just why would I invite somebody over? It looks like there's chaos in the house, and that's probably the main reason why we didn't have
over for years.
Because it was like,
I'm glad to hear now that's all behind you.
No, we just leave the walls now. If they
come over, they know.
If they come over now, like, okay, that Austin did that one, and Christian did that one, and I'm not going to fix it right now.
Right.
I'll just get my wife, because she's kind of like the handy person in this thing.
Oh, really?
So I have to say to her, honey, when are you going to fix a couple of these holes here? Because we still have some holes in the house.
She is a great wife.
So, but she's going like, well, you know what? We'll just wait.
Yeah, it's part of that acceptance, Curt. Hey,
I'm not doing it.
I got to say,
that's on her.
Not fixing the walls anymore. I just got to say, I have tremendous respect and appreciation for you.
I have tremendous respect and appreciation for you.
Thank you.
As well.
First of all, as a remarkable athlete, but mostly as just a role model for me, to be a great father, to be a tremendous husband, and you are clearly all those things. And
well,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, before you go, do you mind sticking around? Because we have some things to
No, I'd love to
auction
stick
off.
around.
All right, I need your help with this. We're going to go to item number 3, because we've got a few more things to auction off. This is the item, the Curt Warner item. The Curt Warner package. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. So on your marks, get set, bid. This is how you show your appreciation for a member of the Seahawks Ring of Honor. This package is for you, the Seahawks fan, or for the Seahawks fan in your life. And now that you've gotten to know Curt, it's even more special. So the package includes an autographed number 28 jersey and an autographed Seahawks football. Curt is here. He's going to sign it just for you. What do you think? Best Seahawks running back of all time? Was it number 28?
No. There's you got Sean Alexander. You've got some other guys that are really good. So I would like to think that I could hold my own. But
hey, you're in the Ring of Honor for a reason.
Well,
would the jersey still fit? You look good, my friend.
I don't know if it's still going to fit, but yeah. But thank you. I appreciate that.
So going along with this, by the way, we have a $200 gift card for framing for the jersey to match the decor of your man or woman cave. Also included a signed copy of Curt's book, The Warner Boys, One Family Story of Autism and Hope. And before Curt leaves tonight, he will personally sign the jersey, the football, and the book just for you. So bids are coming in right now. I'm going to check on this right now. Oh my gosh, is this true? Matt Tino's in at $1,500. Before that, Karen was in at $1,350.
I love you, Matt. I love you, Karen.
Matt is not going to go down without a fight.
You're beautiful people.
Beautiful people. Isn't this fantastic? So, Curt, what do you think about these folks who just have appreciation for you and what you did for the
thank you very
Seahawks?
much. I appreciate that. And it's for a good cause.
Yes.
A great cause.
Right now, we're going to check. We're going to refresh. Right now, Matt Tino leading at $1,500. Karen was right there. Karen, Curt will personally autograph the jersey to Karen. You are my favorite fan
Well, you
in
are
the
just
world.
stirring it.
Karen just got in there. 1550. All right, Matt, now it's on you. Who is the biggest Curt Warner fan?
You are just stirring
That's
it
the
up,
whole
and
point
I
of this.
love it.
We're doing it for Wonderland.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Matt, do not go down like this. It's just $50 more. You'll make more on Monday, I promise. Plus, the great Curt Warner is here. He's going to sign it for you. Man, we're going to have fun.
That is
Matt just got back in, and so did Karen. Karen just outbid him again. Hey, grab that ball like you're the great Curt Warner, Matt, and run it
And
over
don't
the end
fumble.
zone, buddy.
Don't fumble.
We
Don't
have
fumble.
50 seconds left. Yeah, you never want to give it up. What happens when you gave it up with Chuck Knox?
I go down on the other end of the
You
bench
just run
down there.
out
I
of
just
there.
go walk down to the far end down there and just leave me alone.
All
I'm
right, so
soaking.
we're down at 40 seconds. Anything else you want to say to these bidders, Curt? I mean, I apply a lot of pressure, probably
You
too much.
apply a lot of pressure.
It's all in good fun. We're doing it to make a difference.
I know you are.
All right, thank you.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right.
Keep going up. Let's
You got
go.
30 seconds, number 28, and this is the
Oh,
old-
no. Hey, we got another number.
Oh, you're really good at this. Wow, man. All right, 1750.
Come on. I'm giving you some
This is
signals.
head-to-head.
Signals
this is
from
like
the
Seahawks
sideline.
Cowboys tomorrow. They're going head-to-head. They just keep outbidding each other. Karen, don't give up. You've got 11 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep bidding. Once again, there's a delay. Sometimes you can get in there. Bid until it says sold.
Oh, that's
Let's go ahead and refresh and see. Was it Matt? Matt got in there again at $1,800. All right, congratulations, Matt. We're going to reach out. We're going to wait and see where this settles, but we'll reach out to make sure that we have the right
do two.
name.
We can always do two.
Oh, we could maybe come up with another one. All right, well, Curt had the idea. Are you an auctioneer on the side?
I'm working on it.
I think you'd be good at this. Will you travel with me? We can do this
Let's
together.
go.
It'll be our
Let's
thing.
do it.
All right, we're
All
doing
right,
it.
baby.
So
Beautiful
we're going to
thing.
reach out to see Matt Tino, $2,000. He was clearly touched by your story, and so was
Thank you,
Karen.
Matt.
Once again,
Karen, thank
Curt
you.
says we can do 2. We're going to do 2. We're going to reach out to both of you.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you,
do 2.
thank you, thank you. You guys are remarkable. Matt and Karen, you made a difference tonight. Okay.
I applaud you.
Yes, I applaud you as well. That was fantastic. We have a couple more closings. Curt, I know you got places to be. You got to drive back home, but can you stick around for 2 more
I'm here,
closings?
man.
I feel
I'm
like
good.
you're made for this.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Let's go to item number 4. This is another football autographed by Seahawks punter Michael Dickson. Jennifer, let's put 2 minutes on the clock right now. On your marks, get set, bid. 2 minutes coming up. Let's talk about this item. Perfect for any Seahawks fan. Curt, how special is Michael Dickson?
He is kicking that ball unbelievably
He is
well.
kicking that ball. He grew up in Australia, played Aussie rules football. He is doing things we have never seen a punter do before. I mean, do you remember the drop kick on a kickoff?
I've never seen that.
Nobody had ever seen it. They were talking about it on the broadcast. They're like, wow, we have never seen that.
The watermelon kick, I've never seen that.
Right. I mean, it bounces in ways.
But that wasn't a Seahawk thing. I'm sorry.
Right. But he is just incredible. Went to the Pro Bowl
Yeah.
his rookie year. Do you know anybody who's gone to the Pro Bowl during their rookie year?
Not really, no.
You went to the Pro Bowl your rookie year.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, that's hard to do, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to learn the league.
Yeah, and the other teams have to vote for you too at the same time.
Right.
So you just can't go and say, okay.
That's why you got to be nice when you go out there and meet the other
no,
players.
I wasn't going to be nice to them. But
you were
I
nice?
appreciate that.
All right, so once again, Michael Dickson football, 1 minute on the clock right now. I just love this. So he's just kind of changed the dynamic too. It's always nice to have an international player in football because it's a uniquely American sport. Right now, the bidding on that, Gordy, you're leading the way at $500. Guess who's also bidding?
Matt.
Our buddy, Matt Tino. We love Matt Tino. And Shannon Underwood, she was in there at $250. Shannon, this is your moment. Keep going, keep bidding. We will celebrate you for it. Once again, 30 seconds left. We're going to check once again. Gordy in the lead at $500. It is signed. It was donated by the Seahawks. He was actually the special teams player of the week again this week. He had a great game last Sunday. Man, how much fun was that game against the Patriots?
Last play of the game.
Special.
Last
play of the game. It doesn't get any better. 10 seconds left. Gordy's still in the lead. The great Matt Tino. This is what you do. You come in at the last moment. You outbid people. You've got it down to a science. Curt's been watching you. He's been studying you because he's a budding auctioneer. All right, and our time is up.
Funny.
Keep bidding once again until it says no time left. And with that said, our final 2 items, Curt, these are fun. Now to our last 2 items of the night. This is item number 5, an amazing trip to Mexico, and item number 6, 2 tickets to anywhere Alaska Airlines flies. So please put 3 minutes, Jennifer, on the clock. On your marks, get set, bid. Let's start with item number 5. This is 7 nights in Mexico, a Universal Vacation Club property. Choose from 8 resorts in 6 cities, including Cabo, San Lucas, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Nueva Vallarta, Los Cabos, and Loreto. Sun, sand, relaxation. I gotta say, it does not get any better. I mean, doesn't that sound great? No blackout dates, by the way, and you have more than a year to use it. Okay, now on to item number 6. This package includes tickets to anywhere Alaska flies. So dream of your next vacation. You can use these 2 coach tickets anywhere Alaska flies. You make your travel plans come true. This provides the ultimate flexibility. No restrictions, no blackout dates. You have a full year to use them. You want to fly to New York, Curt?
Okay.
Take a bite out of the Big Apple. You want to go to Costa Rica? Adventure is waiting. Hawaii, aloha. You want to go to Spokane? We won't judge you.
Okay.
It's great in the winter. So hey, after what you've been through, you deserve.
Why did you throw Spokane in there, man?
Well, because some people love to go over to Spokane. I'm down with Spokane.
Okay,
I'm just
all right,
saying.
I'm just curious.
The beauty of the tickets.
There's no training camp over there any longer.
I know, that was
Seahawks
fun
game.
over in Cheney, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
You can go wherever you want. All right, let's check the bidding on that. Let's start with Mexico. Once again, you're going to go to Mexico. You're going to get away. The weather here in the winter, you know what it's like.
Yeah,
It
it's
turns
not
rainy.
good.
It's already
Not good.
turning rainy. All right. Heather Armstrong is the leading bidder on Mexico. I believe it's $650. Henry Schenk, this is your moment. Mexico is calling. You deserve this, and you want to support more kids in our community. You're making a difference. Abel Morales just jumped in there. This is still Mexico, right, Nicole? Yes. So Abel, you're now the leading bidder. Heather Armstrong is in there at $650. Heather and Henry, this is your moment. You deserve Mexico, and we're supporting more kids. We're doing it for the kids, right?
That's right. You're exactly right.
We got a minute left. All right, let's jump over to the Alaska Airlines tickets. These are tickets to anywhere Alaska flies. I mean, at some point, we're going to start coming out of this pandemic, and you're going to look at your spouse or your significant other or your best friend and say,
We're
I can't wait
$1,100
to get away. Joanna, $1,100. Aaron Olson, right there. So Aaron, get back in the game, think about the flight, and we're supporting more families, and we're supporting Wonderland.
Exactly.
So this is your moment. Make it happen. We're counting down 40 seconds left. If you had 2 tickets on Alaska Airlines, where would you go?
Spokane.
See, I knew you'd come around.
New York, wherever.
I feel like you could be on the Chamber of Commerce for Spokane. So auctioneer.
You said Spokane, so I figured, hey, I could throw that in there as well.
All right, second choice. What would be choice number 2 if you don't go to Spokane?
New York, Brazil, somewhere in Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. I don't know if that's on the list. I know Costa Rica is. If not,
oh,
hey,
it's got to be okay.
it's
Sorry,
anywhere
my bad.
Alaska
My bad.
flies.
Yeah,
Because your
okay.
wife is
New York.
originally from Brazil.
That's the reason why I said Brazil.
Okay, 6, 5. We're checking the bidding. Joanna, Heather Armstrong leading on item number 5, and Joanna was leading on item number 6. And with that, items number 5 and 6 are now closed. For everyone who bid tonight, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you didn't get a chance to donate, it's never too late to do that. We would like to say from everyone at Wonderland, thank you for joining us for this virtual program. If you have an employer that matches charitable donations, Microsoft, Boeing, Starbucks, the Gates Foundation, to name a few, go to them on Monday, tell them about your generosity, and we will double our impact. The great Curt Warner, everybody.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you for being here.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
Great
this was
time.
fun, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say, as the father of a child with developmental challenges, thank you. You did a really, really, really good thing tonight.
Yeah.
Wonderland would not be able to provide these vital services for families without your support. And some of our favorite people at Wonderland had this personal message for you.
Speech therapist from Wonderland here, just saying thank you for supporting children and families in our community.
Thank you for supporting Wonderland.
We couldn't do our work here at Wonderland without all of you.
Thank you for supporting Wonderland and our virtual event.
Thank you so much for your continued support and all the wonderful families we serve.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much for supporting Wonderland and the families and children we serve. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you for helping Wonderland.
Thank you for helping kids.
Thank you so much for making an investment in their future.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support.
So Wonder Doll and I want to thank you for supporting Wonderland.
Thanks everyone for helping the kids and families at Wonderland.
Thank you.
Thank you.